Welcome to Uncensored Conservatism, episode number 169. So, anyway, there's this thing called the Cook Partisan Index, or something like that, I don't know, voter index, whatever, which rates congressional districts based on Democrat or Republican Party propensity to vote. So I have this theory that the more Democratic leaning the district, the uglier the representative in Congress is. So there's so many of them, but I limited myself to the top 15 ugliest Democrats in Congress, starting with Frederica Wilson of Florida. Take a look at that mug. That's just ugly, right? And as you can see, she really loves her cowboy hats. Here she is, not only with her hat, but looking both ugly and stupid. Anyway, moving on. At number 14, we have Rick Larson of Washington. This, folks, is his official congressional portrait. I mean, the dude just has a really long head. And it's not as if there's more brain matter in there because he's a Democrat. And it looks even longer if he isn't wearing a suit. And this next picture I really find funny. I mean, look at his head and the Capitol building behind him. The same relative dimensions. He's holding a ball in his hand. Moving on, at number 13, we have Doris Matsui of California. All right, she looks like a sweet little Oriental woman, but remember, she's a Democrat from California, so it's likely that she is batshit crazy. But I can't help it. When I see this face, I just see her behind the counter of this. And no, that's not racist, okay? Otherwise, there wouldn't be this picture out there on Getty Images. Next up at number 12 is Jasmine Crockett of Texas. Just look at that face, dripping with hatred. Ugh. And honey, that weave doesn't make you better looking. Okay, so she's basically a piece of ghetto trash from South Dallas, and Jesus Christ, you could go through 20 pictures of her on the internet and find 18 different hairdos. Moving on at number 11 is Val Hoyle of Oregon. That's an ugly face, folks, and that's a picture of her. I know. Here she is all shriveled up and trying to preach to her choir. Speaking of which, I really believe this was her former job. So moving on to number 10 is Valerie Foushee of North Carolina. What the fuck is it with black women and wigs? Come on, man. Seriously. Yeah, meanwhile, those who should be wearing a wig don't. But I'm digressing here. Anyway, getting back to Foushee, when I look at that face, I see this. Yes? No? Maybe? I don't know. At number 9 is Haley Stevens of Michigan. I mean, it's kind of scary looking. Someone needs to tell her this. You keep the mask on. COVID's not over, Miss Stevens. Keep it on. Wear that mask. I mean, something's just off in her face. Like she has a touch of Down syndrome or something. I don't know. Let's move on to number 8. And Raul Grijalva of Arizona. He also has an apparent weight problem to go along with the face of 20 miles of bad road there. I don't know, he just sort of looks like a retired Mexican drug cartel leader. And here he is, checking for areas on the border to bring in some grade A coke. Anyway, moving on. Okay, this one is kind of tough because it comes as a pair. Rashida Tlaib of Michigan and Pramila Jayapal of Washington. And it's not a tie because I think they're the same fucking person. Okay, so Jayapal is of Indian descent, and Tlaib of terrorist descent. But India does import Palestinian slaves. Labor. Anyway, check out Tlaib's lips. Right? You wet them suckers and stick them to a wall, and she'll fall silent for about 3 more months. At number 6, Nancy Pelosi of California. I know it's unfair because this broad is just plain fucking old. I mean, like ancient old. You can tell when they start to lose control of their eye muscles, like she often does. I mean, that's the definition of a craggy-looking face. Here she is. What? Who are you? Get off my grass, you brats, as she wheels herself in with her walker. I mean, this is a woman who did not age gracefully. All right, at number 5, Gwen Moore of Wisconsin. Now, this is a whole lot of woman, as you can tell by the size of that melon she calls a head. I mean, this could be a Halloween mask at Spencer Gifts in October. And this one is just fucking hilarious to look at. Here she is as her alter ego, Mufasina Mutumbo. Good God, imagine waking up to that every morning. Ugh. Now, here's the only full-body picture of her I could find. Well, on second thought, King Kong is a little bit thinner there. And number 4 is Sarah McBride of Delaware. Well, she's no Cindy Crawford, but she's not a dog either. So why did I include her at number 4 or at all? I said, joke's on you. It's a dude. Here's Call Me Sarah looking for which bathroom at the Capitol they should use. It's this one. You have a dick, okay, Sarah? At number 3, we have, ready? Rosa DeLauro of Connecticut. Yeah. Blue-haired hunchback of Congress. Here she is in her purple period. Yeah, so it looks like that nose was broken one too many times. And Jesus Christ, it looks worse with glasses. And here she is before the sex change. I'm just kidding. That's Perry Farrell of Jane's Addiction. Moving on to number 2, you just knew that Maxine Waters of California had to make the list. I mean, good God, just look at this face. Ugh. That's the definition of the word fugly. I mean, and it's even uglier when it smiles. Just gaze at this for a couple of minutes and you're going to have a nightmare tonight. Yuck. At number 1, Al Green. No, not that Al Green. This Al Green of Texas. So here he is outside the Capitol building about to attack it. Take a look at Eddie Munster's doll there. Yeah, I don't see too much of a difference. Or maybe he's just this. I don't know. Or possibly a living Neanderthal since he has the brain of one. Oh, yeah, here he is hunting with some friends. They got themselves a mastodon out there in Texas. And here he is explaining why he should not go back to his home here in a cave and work some more on his art. Yeah, that's right. Al Green of Texas, the ugliest person in Congress with a stupid brain to meet. Congratulations, Al. And that's it. Have a great day and a more pleasant tomorrow.